welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new on here, hello, my name is Sade, and for today's video, as you can tell from the title, I am going to be doing a Balance Athletica review of the newest Outlander collection. So the Outlander collection itself is not new to Balance Athletica. That was actually the first collection that Balance Athletica came out with when they first launched their company, and now they have brought it back nearly 2 years later, completely revamped, and I'm so excited to show you these pieces. So I purchased everything with my own money. I'm not sponsored by Balance Athletica. They have not asked me to make this video or anything. I'm just a huge fan of the brand and I love purchasing their item. If you are new to Balance and you've never purchased from them before, it's good to know that they are a launch-based company. So when they launch a collection, there is no promise that collection is going to be coming back or restocking in any way, shape, or form. If it does come back for whatever reason, it's going to come back new with different patterns and different styles that is going to be reminiscent of the first time it's been launched, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be an exact replica. So for example, the Kingdom collection has now come back 3 times and there's no promise of it coming back next year, but each time it came back it had different patterns, it had different color tones and colorways, so you're not going to be getting the exact same print or same colorway. All of my sizing and stats are going to be down below in the description box. I don't know my glute measurement, I don't know my weight or anything, but I do know like my waist measurement, my bust, and all of that. I just don't weigh myself, and there are certain measurements that I don't know, so I do apologize for that. I typically get a large in everything from Balance. If I have sized up in any of the items, I will let you know. But the first item I'm going to be talking about are the Ascend leggings. I love these leggings so much. They're my favorites from Balance. So basically how it works for Balance is they have 2 types of fabrics that the leggings for each collection can be made out of. Some collections they stick to one fabric and some collections they stick to another. They are starting to add different fabrics, but for the most part they stick to 2, which are the Ascend pant and the OG pant. Personally, I prefer the Ascend pant, which is the pant that these leggings are made out of, this collection. And the only difference between the Ascend and the OG, in my opinion, is that the Ascend has a better grip on your body. It's also known to be more of a performance wear compared to the OG fabric. The OG is like super buttery soft. It's so comfortable and it makes your glutes look amazing. But the only thing for me is that because it's so soft and it doesn't have that grip, it tends to move around a bit when I'm doing higher intensity movements. So if I'm jumping up and down, it's most likely that I'm going to have to pull up the pant. And so I really enjoy the Ascend fabric because it has a really good grip on my skin and it just performs super well in all forms of exercise. Whereas with the OG, I'm fine wearing it in higher intensity workouts, but I just prefer the Ascend. I purchased 3 out of the 4 different colorways you could have gotten in the Outlander collection for the leggings. So for the colorways that I purchased, I have Ocean Breeze, Desert Ridge, and Base Camp. And they are all made out of the Ascend material, so there is really no difference between them other than the colorways and the pattern themselves. When I do the squat proof test, I do want to make note that they are completely squat proof. What I love about Balance is they have perfected their leggings. They make sure that every single item in a collection is perfect before launching it. If it's not good enough, they're not going to launch it. And so with the leggings, both the Ascend and the OG leggings, I have found that they have been 100% squat proof no matter what colorway it comes in, no matter what pattern it comes in. It's just never been an issue for me personally. When I do the squat test in this video, you are going to notice that it does lighten a bit the pattern itself for some of the colorways, and that's not because it's going sheer, it's not because it's not squat proof. They just have a lining on the inside that is white to make sure that it is 100% squat proof. So when I'm squatting, you're not seeing like my actual butt, you're just seeing the inside of the lining. So for the colorways Ocean Breeze and Desert Ridge, it has a lighter inside, but for Base Camp, it has more of a like light brown, so it's not as noticeable with the lightness. But just know that it's not because it's not squat proof, it just looks like that because there is a lining on the inside that is a lighter color. So even if you aren't able to get your hands on maybe this collection in general because it's out of your size or whatnot, just know that every single collection that they come out with is either made out of the Ascend material or the OG material, or sometimes some of the newer materials. I believe they had like the Luxe fabric, and they are planning on doing a legging in the Cloud fabric, I think it's called. But for the most part, they use the Ascend or the OG. The details of the legging and the feel of the legging, even though I'm talking about it in the Outlander collection, if you purchase it in a future collection, that's not really gonna change because it's the same legging. It's just a different pattern or a different colorway. I'm gonna explain to you just some of my favorite details of these leggings, and just know if you're not able to get it in this collection, you will be able to get it in a future collection and see those details as well. So nothing's really gonna change. So the waist does taper in a little bit. They have made changes where it doesn't taper in as much. I remember I purchased the Summit collection earlier this year. It did come in a little bit more than how this collection does, and they've decided to take it out a little bit just because personally for me, I noticed that it was too tight on my waist and it was kind of uncomfortable, but they have changed that, and so it's no longer like super tapered in. It's just a subtle one, so it does give you that really nice figure, but it's not like digging into your waist. Also earlier this year, they took out the front seam. They used to have a front seam in all of their leggings, but they're now able to do no front seam, so it lowers the possibility of camel toe. But they do have a glute contour in the back. You can't really see it because of the camel pattern, but it does have this stitching where it dips down kind of like a V, and then it has like the stitching down the back as well. And what that does is it just like perks up your glutes and makes them look very nice and plump. I don't have a big butt by any means, but Balance Athletica leggings always seems to make my butt look significantly bigger than it actually is. So that's really nice as well. The only other change that they've made from earlier collections, other than tapering in at the waist less, is now have the word balance and their logo embroidered into the legging. Another thing to add is they are completely true to size in my opinion. I'm a size large and it feels super comfortable for me. Another thing that I love about their leggings is that it does not really roll down for me at all. I don't have a flat stomach by any means, and so when I'm bending over, when I'm doing squats, deadlifts, whatever it may be, I find is that for a lot of my leggings, it's very common for them to roll down in the waistband, but for whatever reason, the Balance leggings do not do that for me by any means, which is amazing. Before moving on to the next item, I do want to add that Balance is not the most affordable company, which I do understand. So I don't want anyone to feel pressured to buying any of these items. And if you are concerned with the price or you're questioning the price, just know that for me, leggings and activewear in general, it's an investment. I'm purchasing leggings that are on the cheaper side. I have noticed that I don't hold on to it as long. Sometimes there's issues with the stitching. Sometimes all of a sudden there'll be holes in it. Sometimes there's issues. And with Balance, they make sure that every single product is worth the price and you are getting your money's worth. I've had items from Balance from the beginning of last year that are still absolutely amazing and still at their highest quality. So I understand that they are pricey. I completely understand that. If I was still in college and I didn't have my job, I don't know if I could buy Balance as much as I do now. It definitely is worth the investment, and they do create great staple pieces. So just know that it's not like you're paying $80 and you're gonna get leggings that are gonna be horrible by next year. That's not the case at all. So the next item I have is the Roam tank, and I have those in 3 of the colorways. So I have it in Dune, Midnight, and Coastline. And I got all of these in a size large, which I actually was nervous about just because I do have broader shoulders. What I have found is that when I buy tank tops or sports bras or just like form-fitting tops in a size large, it's just a little bit uncomfortable for me because it might be digging into my shoulders or digging into my back. But I was pleasantly surprised that when I ordered these in a size large, they fit me perfectly and they were super, super comfortable when trying them on. The reason that I purchased the Roam tank over the sports bra that they were advertising with this collection is just because you get a little bit more length. I also really enjoyed the cut of this sports bra. It just highlights my shoulders very well, and since my shoulders are broad, They have a thicker strap and it's just super comfortable. But I really just enjoyed the simplicity of this tank top, and also the reason I got this over the sports bra is because the front is triple lined, so it does give you that little bit of thickness and also gives you a tiny bit more support, I feel like, than if you just had like a plain tank top. So I do feel comfortable working out in this top without a sports bra. I have a 38D and I'm fine with something not being super high support, but if that is uncomfortable for you and you really do like a high support sports bra, I wouldn't recommend just wearing this on your own for a workout, especially if you're doing something high intensity. So it just has the Balance logo in the back. It's super simplistic, so you're not having like major branding by any means. And for me personally, when it comes to the triple lining in the front, I haven't noticed like major nippage. But I have looked at some other reviews from the elite leaders and the leaders and the affiliates, and some of them have said that they do have a little bit of nippage, but it's not like major. For me, when I tried on all of the tops, I didn't really notice it too much. It's also not that big of a deal to me, especially since I work out at home. But if that is something that is a bigger deal to you, then just keep that in mind. Now, the final piece that I purchased, which I actually did not try on, I will try it on in a minute, the Muse tee. Now this is I believe the Muse tee is not new to Balance. I feel like they've released it in past collections before. I actually sized up in this top. Instead of getting it in a large, I got it in an extra large, and I'm very happy that I made that decision just because the length is still on the shorter side, and I do like a baggier fit. I don't like my t-shirts or my long sleeves being like super tight on me, so I chose to size up. The only colorway that I got this top in is Muse, but I believe that most of the colorways are fully stocked in all sizes, from extra small to 4XL. I think that's their size range. A really great thickness. I don't think you would get too hot in a workout in it, especially since it's already cropped. It definitely is a really nice material. And then on the back, they just have, again, the simplistic Balance triangle that they have on the Rome tank. So that is everything that I got from the Balance Athletica Outlander collection. If you have any questions about this collection or about Balance in general, you can always ask them down below. I'm not an affiliate by any means with Balance, but I am a huge fan of their company. I have been purchasing from them for quite some time. So if you have any questions, especially if you have a curvier body type like I do, I would be happy to answer them down below. So with that being said, I love you all so much. Always remember to let love in, let love out, and stay thriving. Bye guys.